Good morning, evening, friends. Welcome to Money Magnet English series on every Sunday at 8 p.m. Investment versus if you had noticed, whatever the money we earn, whatever the money we have, however, it will be spent in some way or other. It will not be staying much longer with us. Only provided if we are having enormous control over our money. In general conditions, it will be, however, slipping out of our hands. It will be spent out or whatever it is, it will be going out of our hands. So what happens in general, generally, the poor and middle class, other than rich and successful class, the poor and middle class, what they do? They earn and they spend. If at all a little is remained, it will be saved. If at all, that is very rare conditions. If at all it is anything is remaining, that will be saved. This is a general process of any poor and middle class person. When it comes to rich and successful person, the process is a little bit different. Whatever they earn, they save, and then whatever the remaining is there, they live in that live in that remaining amount, remaining percentage, or whatever the amount is left out after saving, that they'll be spending for their livelihood. But here, what happens? This is in general condition. This many people might have said to you, and you might be hearing this or listening to this any number of places. That's not my question now. Now there are some places, or there are some arenas where we get confused between expenditure and investment. See, when I'm talking about expenditure or investment, I'm not talking only about the money. Whenever we spend or whenever we invest, it's not only the money what we do. There'll be time involved in that, there'll be an effort involved in that, and then comes money. That means when I say spending, the spending includes all these three elements, which is efforts, time, and money. When I say invest, that investment and includes all the three things: efforts, time, and money. Most of the times, what happens, people are confused in this. They assume expenditure as investment, and they assume liabilities as assets. I want to just make it a little clarity for those people who are not clear about this, not for everybody. Maybe this is purely, as this is the beginning of the series, I'm going purely and purely into the basic level of knowledge, into the basics I'm trying to cover up, so that in later on stages, when we go to the little bit higher level of knowledge, then if at all somebody could not get that, they can come back to these episodes and watch, and they get connected to our next level of episodes. That's why I'm giving you, maybe for so many people this may look very basic, but as it is a series beginning, I'm giving intentionally the basic level of knowledge. So when we talk about expenditure or an investment, first and foremost we should understand whatever we spend, whether it's time, efforts, or money, and once it is gone, and it is gone, you have not got anything. Maybe you have a little bit of fun for that amount of time, whatever you are spending there, or that amount of uh, zone, whatever the area, whatever you are spending there, for that moment, you may be happy for that. You may be enjoying for that. After that, there is nothing left out for you. But when we come to the investment is something, it may look that you had spent it out. You might have spent it out, or your let it be your efforts or time or money. It may look that you had spent it out, but it will be yielding us some profits, or it will be yielding us some benefits. May not be at that point, but later on stage it may be giving. Let me give you an example, and then it will be better understood. I have 1,000 rupees. These 1,000 rupees, I can do many things. I have many options to spend these 1,000 rupees. If this 1,000 rupees I had spent on watching a movie, eating a popcorn, Coke, or while returning from the movie, one biryani, the 1,000 rupees is out. So while watching this three hours of the movie, or maybe for that after that 1/2 an hour or so, in that 4 hours, I had spent. I enjoyed myself beautifully. Now after that 4 hours, what I carry, nothing. What will I be getting? Nothing. What will I be gaining as a profit? Nothing. So these sort of things are called expenses. These are expenses. They are spent out. That's all. Now the same 1,000 rupees I had invested in a online course or in a book or on a program or on some course I had purchased or some workshop I had purchased or some gadget I had purchased. Now this thing, the course, whatever the knowledge I'll be gaining or whatever the online course, whatever the subject I'll be gathering, whatever the skill set I'll be developing, and what are the capability of my thought process, widening the horizons of thought process, whatever I get from that, definitely that will be useful for my career growth. Definitely that will be useful for my life growth, some skill set with which I may get income increased by using that skills again in my regular day-to-day profession. I may get little bit of more earnings, a little bit of more skill set in while working my regular job or regular work, or I may reduce the time, whatever the time it usually used to take. Maybe it used to take 1 hour for that particular one work. Now by learning these skills and by learning these things, maybe I can complete it in half an hour. So I'm able to save half an hour, 30 minutes more. That means that 30 minutes are earned. Or I can complete another process, another project, or another assignment, or another work, another job there, which can add up to my income also. So whenever we are getting a return, a positive return in terms of time, in terms of reducing our efforts, in terms of making profits in any area of money, in the form of money, anything we get latter stage, maybe may not be on that spot when we are investing on that. Later on stage, it is giving a return, saving the time, saving the efforts, and gaining as the monetary benefits. Such things are called investments. And those other things, which ones spent are called expenditure. It is not that you don't know I'm telling all these things, but this is a basic difference what we are supposed to understand before we send a single rupee out of our pocket. When we are sending a rupee out of our pocket, we should have this awareness, we should have this understanding that whether we are doing this as an expenditure or we are doing this as an investment. Most of the people in my 23 years of research on the only topic called money, and I had helped thousands of people in upgrading their life standards in the area of money. I had noticed most of the people grossly misunderstand expenditure and investment. They believe expenditure as investment. They are spending, and they feel investment as a waste expenses. So most of the people who come to me and when they tell me about their problems, their financial issues, that I have this problem, I have that problem, all these things. Then when I suggest them some solution, which involves a little bit of stress, a little bit of efforts, little bit of time, little bit of money, then they look up and down and they say, do we need to do that? Why? Then they say, I don't think it is worthy expenditure. I don't think it is a worthy expenditure. I say that is the problem. You are looking it as an expenditure, whereas it is an investment. It is an investment to make your life better. It is an investment to take your life to next level. It is an investment to make your earning capability into the next level. It is a investment to make your time reduced to do a job. It is a investment to make your efforts reduced to go to the to complete the job. Instead of looking at as an investment, people grossly look it as an investment and as expenses. So as long as you see it as an expenses, you cannot invest it on that. So my dear friends, I request you all to give a clear thought. Understand before you send a single rupee out of your pocket. Be clear whether it is going to be into the account of expenses or into the account of investments. There are some areas which are must and should to be spent. Maybe some recurring expenses. Some recurring expenses like a house rent or grocery or school fees or power bill or the milk bill. All these things maybe definitely they are must and should compulsory expenses. Those cannot be avoided. I'm not even talking about them. I'm talking about those expenses which are not necessary, but we do. Why we do? Just like that we do. We want to have some fun, or we want to have some joy, or we want to feel that some feel good factor. For that feel good factor, when you spend the remaining amount and when you really, really need it, you will not be getting it. Neither it helps you in your improvement of your income, nor it helps you in reduction of your time and efforts. So take care, my dear friends, as and when you are doing expenses, or as and when you are doing the money, spending the money or sending the money out of your pocket, may not be 100% of the times. At least start somewhere, thinking something, and start sending at least some part of the amount into the investment pocket. Because whatever you have spent, it will never come back. Whatever you invest, that will definitely come back with profits. And we need to keep it in such a place only where it can give you much, much, much greater benefits. So that's all.